Welcome to Totally Talent Podcast by HR.com, your go-to source for all things talent. Whether you're looking for expert insights on high-volume hiring, the latest trends in recruitment technology, or strategies for building a winning team, we've got you covered. Join us for each episode as we dive deep into the challenges and opportunities shaping the talent landscape today. Let's get started.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of Totally Talent. I'm your host, Mike Wood. You can tell that we are on location. We're in the Shaker Recruitment Services booth at RecFest. And I'm very pleased to be joined by Sumanta from nSpire AI. Sumanta, do you just want to take a second to introduce yourself to our listeners?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Very nice to meet all of you. This is my first time to RecFest. And this is such a different vibe than HR Tech I was a couple of weeks ago in Vegas. My name is Sumanta Chakraborty. I am the founder and CEO of a company called nSpire AI. We are based in Silicon Valley, and we're building a talent intelligence platform from ground up that's fully based on agentic AI. So essentially building many AI agents to take on a very disconnected talent ecosystem that exists today.
So just so our listeners know, how do you define an AI agent? Like, can you walk me through the different agents that you have?
Yeah, 100%. So I think this is a very important question where an AI agent, we are actually getting into the world of AI where the agents are now able to do a couple of things that was not possible in the past.
Just going to shut this off.
They want to join the party.
That was Hall & Oates, by the way.
That's fun. So we are very familiar with interacting with AI, but the agents are actually the next in the next pipeline of AI where they can reason, they can plan, and they can act on our behalf. So it's not about a chat bot where you ask it to do something, it gives you an answer, but these agents are actually autonomous. Think about your autonomous car, Tesla's, point A to point B, it can make all the decisions along the way. That's kind of these agents are going to be. So our vision is that bringing that truly concept of AI agent in our world of talent. So a couple of agents that we are working on, for example, our most prominent agent that's live in the market today is called Theo. Theo is our vision for a lifelong career coach for every professional students in the world. So in short, we want to put Theo in 1 billion users' pocket worldwide. And why are we so passionate about that part of it is that career is such a long and lonely journey for all of us, right? You go into college, you have no idea what you're going to do. You try to figure out what your first job is going to be. Then you grow within the job or you change your careers. And we do all of that on our own. On an average, if you think about 40 years of, average people
where you have to find some random mentor who wants to take the time out.
Let's talk about that. And this kind of goes back to the origin of why I started this company. I actually am complete outsider from an HR tech, ed tech perspective.
That's a good thing sometimes?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I was building drones and robots, self-driving cars at companies like NVIDIA, Nuance, which is part of Microsoft. I was having a fantastic time. Until when I actually decided to do a fact-finding of what he wanted to do. I mean, I have worked in the industry for a long time. I wanted to do something different. And I was talking to a lot of companies in Silicon Valley. And during that process, I realized how broken and frustrating that entire process was because I needed a mentor. I needed a coach. And when I talked to them, they said, oh, yeah, sure, absolutely. I am an executive coach. I'm going to charge you $400 an hour, and my minimum package is $5,000. I'm like, how does that work, right? And even if, for example, if I could afford that, most people will not be able to afford it for 3 months, $5,000. And then what happens after 3 months? There is no continuity, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what the spark was. We were building so much technology on the other side, like drones, robots, and all that. I wanted to bring some of those innovations into the HR and talent space. And that was how nSpire AI was born. We wanted to kind of build an AI agent that would stay with you for your entire career, right? Guiding you through when you're in college and even maybe before college is what are the different career paths and choices based on your passions, interests, and goals and what you like to do. To then guiding you, finding those right opportunities, getting them, and then growing within them, moving through different jobs, becoming an executive, or even becoming an entrepreneur, right? I mean, I would love to see so many more entrepreneurs in the world. So that's kind of how we started the journey. Theo is now ready. It is getting deployed at a number of universities in the U.S., including UCLA, Georgia Tech, George Mason, community colleges like Maricosta, to workforce development agencies, women in tech. So we love the feedback and how we are helping them. So that's one of our agent.
Yeah. Now, why do you think that colleges picked up on this? Because of the early career guidance. I think you mentioned that your daughter's in high school. I got a fourth grader myself. And I worry about them having to, navigate this new world of work and what is their career going to look like. So
yeah.
Did you specifically kind of aim this towards?
Yeah, I think the job market is changing so much. It is impacting the early careers probably more unfairly than anybody else because they are trying to go out of some of the top colleges. Like if you look at Harvard had like 25% of them graduated without a job. This is unheard of. Like this is Harvard Business School, right? And this is not common. This is, across the board. So they're struggling to figure out what they want to do because a lot of the entry-level jobs are now getting done by AI, right?
Yep.
So what would they do? And that's kind of where a lot of the guidance comes into play is how do we help them? But I think it's also impacting across down the funnel, right? I mean, more and more people, even if you are experienced, people are kind of trying to figure out how do you augment AI into the existing workforce and not hire as many new people as possible, which means we need to have, we will have a very interesting skill dynamics going on where the universities might be teaching something that the industries might not need. And that's kind of where I think our talent intelligence platform, our bigger vision is to connect those dots in a real time. So the way we think about our platform is two kinds of agents that we are building, especially for the talent ecosystem. A group of agent I call the coaching agent, right? Right now we have Theo. We would have, let's say, a sales coaching agent, maybe a finance coaching agent, maybe an executive coaching agent, right? So we will build many agents in that space. And these, as they are working with students and professionals, is actually getting the true intelligence of what is happening in my talent space. What are people good at? What are they not so good at? What are they trying to aspire to where they want to go? And I have another sets of agents on the assessment side of it. We have two. One is called Cynthia. That's kind of a recruiting agent for organizations. And a new one coming up called potentially Cleo. We haven't finalized the name yet. Is specifically for sales. So the idea is that these agents are working for the enterprise, but they're working together hand in hand with the coaching agents. So we don't have a disconnected system in our world anymore, as these agents are working 24/7 with, many interactions to figure out what's the right role for who, what's the right candidate for which company, right? But along the way, we're also building intelligence on both sides. So the coaching agents are building intelligence of the candidate pool, and the assessment agents are building intelligence on what is needed in the market.
Yeah.
So when that connects together, imagine those assessment agents can go back to the coaching agents to say, hey, university, this is what the skills industry needs today. You need to double down on it. So that's going back to your question of why universities, that's one of the reasons why I think, the education system needs an overhaul and we can make an impact there. But there is another bigger problem in that, in the fact that, according to stats, it's 1:1,800 is the ratio of a counselor to number of students they have to cater to. Think about that for a second. If it is 200, I'll be scared. But if it is 1,800, 2,000, I have spoken with public colleges, and they're like, oh my God, I have to deal with 3,000 students.
Yeah.
There's no way humanly possible for them to guide any of the students personally. That's why they get excited about Theo, is that Theo can be their eyes and ears, boots on the ground.
Yep.
For every single student, Theo is different. Their goals, their aspirations are different, Theo. And not only is Theo coaching them, but Theo is bringing the intelligence back to the counselors to know, hey, who is struggling where? Who is trying to go where? So the limited amount of time they have, they're not going as like, okay, tell me about yourself. How do you fit for that? That's already done. They're kind of focusing on more higher order.
And they're already doing, like, I know, at least from personal experience, that like when you're thinking about like what's my next career move or whatever, you're either looking up on Google, you're looking up other people's jobs and whatever. If I could just simply ask an agent to be like, hey, these are my skills, what are some different pathways that I could go in my career?
Exactly.
That would save me a ton of.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people don't even realize what they want to do, what they're good at and all that, right? So that's kind of where we are also partnering on our recruitment side of it. We are partnering with a number of job boards and programmatics like, Appcast and Jovio and Resume Wallet, College Recruiter. They're bringing the jobs to the platform so that we can deliver the right ones for the students and professionals, so that they don't have to go to 10 different job boards to figure out what they should be doing, but it's all delivered to them every morning. They got to select, these are the 3 things. By the way, have you explored this, that?
I mean, and that technology exists when you're buying something. It will say, similar products, or it will say, that, why aren't we taking that into roles and that type of stuff?
That's kind of exactly, you just hit the right point, is these are not new. They have been done very well in many other places, industries. We just need to bring many of these things in this talent and HR world. That's kind of gets me excited, is there is so much opportunity. We have almost like a clean slate to kind of build it ground up. And, what I get super excited about is that for us, we don't have any legacy. We don't have to think about, this is how it is done, this is how it used.
Starting with the agents. You're not
basically saying, this is starting ground up. We can imagine anything that we want. Let's go and build it. And that's kind of exciting part of it, is we can imagine anything.
Well, I'm looking forward to see, you guys grow and compete with all the other agents that are out there. But this is definitely needed. Specifically, I know for that early and like the entry level employee, that you could go so many different directions in your career and you just have no idea. And there's no clear path anymore. So
and I think, the other thing that we are also thinking as part of nSpire's platform story is that we don't have to build every single agent in the world. It is going to be probably a mistake if we basically say we know everything, right? So the idea for our platform is going to be build a solid foundation that we will build a number of the agents on our own, but we will also enable others to build agents on top of the platform in a modular way. For example, I'll just give a concrete example, right? Today, let's say Cynthia is the recruiting agent. Cynthia can do a lot of the different interviews, but when it is doing a sales interview, it's going to bring Cleo, the specialist, into that, saying, hey, this is a specialist one, you do it. That's built by us. But tomorrow, let's say there is a finance role where we don't have an agent, but another company has a great agent. So Cynthia could actually plug in. It's like, oh, there's a partner of mine. I'm going to invoke that agent from that company to do that job, and I'm still owning the ecosystem, so that others can also take advantage of the platform and build on top of it. so that we're not going to be able to do everything. And that's probably not the right way to do it.
Awesome. Well, you guys are primed for success. I look forward to seeing what you guys do.
Absolutely.
So thank you. Thank you guys for listening to us live in the Shaker recruitment marketing booth at RecFest. I'm Mike Wood for HR.com.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Totally Talent podcast by HR.com. We hope you find today's episode insightful and inspiring. Don't forget to explore more episodes and discover valuable resources at hr.com/podcasts, where you can listen to all of our podcasts. Until next time, keep leading with purpose and making a difference in the world of talent.